The Whispering Ridge. I've always loved the mountains. There's something sacred about them. The way the wind howls through the trees, the crisp air that cuts deep into your lungs, the silence that stretches out forever. But after what happened on Whispering Ridge, I can't look at them the same way. I don't hike anymore. I barely sleep. And when I do, I see them. I hear the whispers. It all started when my friend Marcus convinced me to join a 4-man expedition to Mount Sulia, a remote, lesser-known peak tucked deep in the northern wilds. It wasn't famous, not part of any national park, and hardly documented online. That's what appealed to us. No tourists, no beaten path, just nature, raw and untouched. The team was solid. Marcus, an experienced climber with dozens of ascents under his belt. Jay, a survival expert who spent years in the army. And Elijah, quiet, kind, but sharp as hell with a camera and GPS. I was the odd one out, I suppose. I'd climbed before, sure, but never something like this. Still, they trusted me. And I trusted them. We left on a Tuesday in mid-October. The air was already cold, brittle with the coming winter. It took us 2 days to reach the base of the mountain by van, and then another half-day hiking through thick woods until we reached the lower slopes. Something felt off almost immediately. The trees were too still. No birdsong, no rustling. Even the wind seemed hesitant. We joked about it, called it prime horror movie setting, but it made our smiles thin and our laughter short. We made camp the first night by a glacial stream. The stars were incredible, and for a few hours, everything felt okay. But then, sometime after midnight, I woke up to the sound of whispering. I sat up, heart pounding, thinking it was one of the others talking in their sleep. But when I leaned out of the tent, I saw Marcus standing a few yards away, staring into the woods. "Marcus!" I called softly. He didn't turn, just stood there. I walked over and gently touched his shoulder. He flinched hard, gasped, and looked at me like he didn't recognize me. I thought I heard something," he said. Voices, like a woman calling for help. We scanned the trees. Nothing. We told the others in the morning. Jay frowned but didn't say much. Elijah looked uneasy but shrugged it off. "Maybe it was the wind," he said. But we all knew it wasn't. On the second day, we pushed higher. The terrain turned steep, rocks slick with frost. Around noon, we found an old cairn, an unnatural pile of stones arranged too neatly to be chance. Jay paused, stared at it for a long time. "Trail marker?" I asked. He shook his head. "It's not ours, it's old, real old. There were bones nestled beneath the stones, tiny brittle things. Maybe animal bones." We didn't talk about it, just moved on. That night, the whispering came back. Louder this time, more voices, male and female. Some sounded like children. All heard them. Jay lit a fire and surrounded it with salt from his pack. "It's a ritual," he said quietly. "Just in case." "Just in case of what?" I asked. He didn't answer. I didn't sleep that night. None of us did. By the third day, something had changed in Elijah. He kept glancing behind us like he expected to see someone. He started muttering to himself. And when we stopped for lunch, he took out his camera and began taking pictures of nothing. Trees, rocks, shadows. "You okay, man?" Marcus asked him. Elijah nodded, but his eyes were glassy. "She's following us," he said. "Who is?" He pointed to the trees. "The woman with the black veil." We left him alone after that. That evening, a storm rolled in fast. No warning, just thunder, then sleet and screaming winds. We took shelter in a shallow cave near a jagged ridge. The walls were black with soot, like it had been used before, recently. Inside, we found carvings. Thousands of them. Symbols we didn't recognize. Circles within circles. Faces without eyes. Names scratched deep into the stone. Hundreds of names. Some were fresh. Marcus found his name. It was carved near the back wall. Clear as day. Marcus. He stared at it for a long time, breathing hard, lips trembling. Jay tried to laugh it off. Coincidence, someone else with the same name. But I knew better. Marcus had that name carved into the back of his jacket. Exactly the same. That night, I dreamed of a woman with no face standing over me, her mouth moving silently. When I woke, Marcus was gone. We searched for hours, screaming. His name, leaving markers, whistling, no trace. His gear was still in the cave, his boots, his coat. Elijah didn't help. He just sat by the fire, humming tunelessly and clicking his camera. "Did you see where he went?" I asked. He nodded. She called him. Jay and I argued about descending then. He wanted to keep searching. I wanted to get help. Elijah didn't care either way. By morning, the cave felt colder. Wrong. We found a second cairn outside the mouth of the cave. Marcus's compass sat atop it. We left. Elijah lagged behind. By midday, he was gone too. No sound, no scream, nothing. Jay was breaking. I saw it in his face. We were down to 2, and something was hunting us. We made a plan to descend quickly, skipping camp, hiking straight through, but we never made it. The ridge narrowed to a knife's edge, sheer drops on either side. The wind screamed like a living thing, and then Jay stopped. "There," he said, pointing. At the edge of the cliff stood a woman. She wore a long black dress, the fabric twisting in the wind. Her head was veiled, and her hands hung limply at her sides. She didn't move, didn't speak, just watched us. I blinked and she was closer. Jay grabbed my arm. "Run!" We turned and bolted, slipping on loose stones, lungs burning. I didn't look back. I couldn't. When I finally stopped, Jay was gone. I searched until nightfall. I screamed until my throat bled. But there was no one. I was alone. I don't remember the descent, just flashes. Branches tearing at my clothes, blood on my hands. The whispering louder than ever, like 1,000 voices in my head. I woke up in a ranger's cabin at the base of the mountain. A hunter found me 3 days later, half frozen, babbling nonsense. They searched for the others, found nothing. No gear, no cairns, no cave. They said I imagined it, hypothermia, trauma, but I know what I saw. And sometimes, late at night, I still hear her voice, calling, waiting. The mountains don't forget, and neither will I.